Our story unfolds right in the thick of a very unusual time in the Marvel Universe. A period when a gamma radiation blast managed to transform a number of Earth's mightiest heroes into hulked-out versions of themselves, along with scores of military servicemen. This event would be known as World War Hulks. It's here where we find the gamma radiation transformed god of thunder, Thor, and Spider-Hulk near Washington, D.C.'s National Mall. The hulked-out Asgardian has just smacked the swole Spider-Man, but he did not come here for a petty tussle.
Get up, Spider-Thing. No. Want to sleep. Up early today. Need rest. You cannot rest now. Thor will smash Lazy Spider. No, I come. Was being funny. Not as easy as it used to be.
When the wall crawler asks Thor what exactly they need to do, we discover that the god of thunder still hasn't forgotten his heroic roots, in spite of being transformed into a gamma-irradiated version of himself.
Save everything. Save everything from things like us.
That's because just a stone's throw away, a squad of hulked-out soldiers known as the AI Marines are wreaking havoc right in front of the White House. Thor has no intention of allowing the situation to escalate further. But just as they're about to intervene, Spider-Hulk turns around to see the Smithsonian Institute. The scene ignites a core memory in the wall crawler, one from a much more innocent time in his life.
I remember the first time I went. Of course, the dinosaurs had flesh on their bones back then.
Uncle Ben, I don't know about anything else, but that joke should be in the Smithsonian.
Petey, I want you to know, we always wanted to take you there, but money, you know how it is. That you won that competition, well, you're a smart kid. Smart kids from all over the country will be there. You'll have fun. We're proud as hell you got yourself there.
In the present, Thor speaks in a monologue about his supremacy on the battlefield. In fact, he gets so into it that he fails to notice that Spider-Hulk has decided to go his own way and enter the Smithsonian instead of joining the God of Thunder's crusade. Ultimately, Thor alone leads a direct assault on the AI Marines. But, as we soon find out, he's more than enough to handle a gaggle of hulked-out soldiers. In spite of the commanding performance, the hulked-out God of Thunder is none too happy that his supposed sidekick has gone off on his own. He realizes that Spider-Hulk has made his way into the museum, so he follows suit.
What you doing? Reading. What'd it say? Dunno, that why I reading. Find out. It is time to smash. But reading.
This time, their exchange sparks a memory from Thor's past. A time in his youth when he was heavily against accepting Loki as his adopted brother. At the time, the All-Father Odin commanded him to treat Loki as part of the family.
His choice in helmets leaves much to be desired. The horns on his helm are far too long for any practical fighting. Unlike yours. Yours are more sensible.
Thor, he is your brother.
Adopted brother.
If Odin says he is your brother, he is your brother. And let no god dare add a qualifier to that.
All-Father, I'm sorry. But he is so dull. He spends hours among those tomes. He has no interest in sports.
Have you invited him? You should try. I would have you noble, Thor.
More strikingly, the truth bomb that his father dropped on him echoes right to the present.
To be a noble and to be noble are things different. You would do well to learn this. One day, you must be worthy of this hammer, of this throne. It is in matters like this which you will prove yourself. You will take the boy Loki with you next time you play at battle. To make him your brother is a battle in its own way too, Thor.
It shall be so, Father.
Meanwhile, Thor urges his comrade to join his crusade. Still, the wall crawler is so enamored with the museum's displays that he fails to give Thor his due attention. It does not end well.
Do you hear me, little spider? Tyrannosaurus. Do you hear me, little spider? Or would you have Thor start his smashing here?
That mere threat alone reminds Peter of his time in the Smithsonian. Back when he met one of his earliest crushes, a precocious little girl who, like him, also had a fascination for the fine science of paleontology. However, this memory is soured when Pete recalls that a pudgy nerd interrupted an otherwise wonderful day at the museum.
Paleontology isn't a real science. At best, it's biology, as in girl science. It's the science equivalent of being into ponies. No one cares.
Leave her alone. I'm interested.
You're interested? I bet you are.
In the present, this recollection ignites a fire within Spider-Hulk. Little does he know that this would be the beginning of an epic showdown.
Stupid Thor not listening. Spider-Hulk just wants to be left alone, to read. Puny Thor go and play his macho games. Bet you no even remember why you fighting.
And if you were wondering why Thor is so anti-intellectualist, we soon discover that this all stems from a fateful day when Loki screwed him over. This came right in the wake of him agreeing to bring his adopted brother to one of his games when Odin demanded it so.
It's a game of hunting and wrestling. In merely matching might, they have our measure. But we are smarter than them.
I dare say we are, brother. Do you have a plan?
They fear me. They underestimate you. I will spring their inevitable ambush, and when they make their move, you strike. Agreed?
Quite. It sounds like a lot of fun.
And it was here that the god of mischief had abandoned Thor during one of their childish games in the past.
Now, Loki. Now! Loki?
Yield! Yield!
Never. Ah! Where is my brother?
He left the field, saying he had no interest in being here. At least not when he had some reading to attend to.
In the present, things escalate for our two hulked-out heroes.
I am fighting because you scared, puny insect. If Spider-Thing does not come and help save day, Thor will smash all of this, so you have no thing to read or old bones to look at. Come. No.
Say what you will, but Thor does not make empty threats. The god of thunder destroys the T-Rex bones on display in the middle of the showroom as soon as he hears Spider-Hulk outright refuse his order. But if there's one thing Thor should have known, it's not to mess with a paleontology geek's passion. He fails to wreck the display when Spider-Hulk webs up his arms along with Mjolnir.
Puny spider dares? Thor should read words. Says, no. Smash.
The hulked-out wall crawler brings the beatdown on the Asgardian, pummeling him with a couple of devastating strikes before subduing him in his trademark webbing. Of course, it goes without saying that things have come to a head, because there's no way that the god of thunder would let an affront to his ego stand.
You think you clever, you think you sneaky, you know clever.
With a single electrical surge, Thor frees himself from Spider-Hulk's web restraints and makes a declaration.
Thor will teach little spider lesson he cannot read.
On the other hand, the scenario only reminds Peter of what happened back when the pudgy nerd at the museum messed with him.
No wonder you like dinosaurs so much. You're just like them, petrified.
Fossilized.
What was that?
Fossilized, not petrified.
Grow up! This isn't science, this is a theme park for kids of pushy parents. You got anything which says differently?
No.
Meanwhile, we find that Thor has just hurled Spider-Hulk several feet away. Of course, a move like that is far from making the hulked-out web-slinger quit.
Had you had enough, or do you want more?
But make no mistake, the god of thunder does not back away from a challenge, and this encounter is no exemption to that rule. In fact, Thor escalates the situation by deciding to use his legendary weapon against the wall crawler.
Stupid spider thing. You like old things so much? Take low.
And with that, Spider-Hulk eats up the full force of a charged Mjolnir, despite the fact that Thor's hulked-out state prevents him from even mentioning the weapon's name correctly.
Mjolnir, Len, Odin's hammer, now Thor's. Very old.
Thor summons Mjolnir back to his hand. Spider-Hulk, beaten but not broken, gets on his feet.
What Thor going to do to teach you, spider thing?
The god of thunder then gives his opponent a thunderous punch to the face, one powerful enough to knock down the Spider-Hulk.
How Thor gonna make you learn?
And in the middle of his grandstanding, Thor recalls the immediate aftermath of Loki's betrayal. In it, the fledgling god of thunder stormed into his brother's room that evening.
Thor, I lost track of you during the games. Wherever did you get to?
The young god of mischief's question is not answered by words. Instead, Thor grabbed him by the collar and without so much as a word, hurls Loki right out of his bedroom window and into the puddle of mud a couple of stories below them.
Thor, let go. No.
The young Asgardian was essentially satisfied with the retribution he had just received. This memory lingers in the present, as the hulked-out Thor reveals his true colors, that of a bully and a meathead of the lowest order.
Thor knows. You get taught lesson, little spider-worm. In words, Thor speaks best.
Thor walks up to the downed Spider-Hulk and pins him down as if they were a couple of kids in a schoolyard squabble.
See if you learn. Say Thor strongest.
But gamma radiation or not, Peter Parker does not give in to bullies.
Thor smells strongest.
Thor replies with the quip by ramming Peter's face straight into the ground. Still, an assault like that does little to nothing about Spider-Hulk's wit.
Is Thor flirting with Spider-Man? Not like you that way.
Another jibe, another face smashing. And although Spider-Hulk is one of the mouthiest heroes around, he knows when to quit.
Thor strongest.
Hearing what he wanted, Thor prepares to deliver the web-slinger his finishing blow.
Now Thor finish with stupid Spider and get back to real battle.
Unknown to them, the squad of AI Marines are already swarming the Smithsonian. A couple of the hulked-out soldiers have no idea what building they stumbled into at first, but one of them recalls a core memory of his own.
This is the Smithsonian, which is the Premi blah history blah blah I blah 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 blah.
Boring place! Hate boring place! Smash!
Further inside the museum, Thor continues to bully Peter as he raises Mjolnir above his shoulder and gets ready to smite the Spider-Hulk down. But something curious happens.
Huh? Stupid hammer stuck.
Try as he might, Thor loses the ability to swing his legendary hammer. Even more, he notices its weight increasing with every passing second. That's because Odinson's recent actions made him breach Mjolnir's contract. That is to say, he's not worthy of wielding the powerful hammer anymore.
Ah! You know what Spider-Man think? Think Thor's hammer is Floor's hammer now. Ha ha ha.
Their epic duel is interrupted, however, when Spider-Hulk senses one of his precious dinosaur displays getting destroyed in the other room. So he rushes toward the source of the noise, only to find that one of the AI Marines is dismantling his favorite exhibit item.
No! No hurt Diplodocus, understand? Happy to repeat self.
Spider-Hulk manages to subdue the fossil-breaking gamma-irradiated soldier. But he notices that the guy's whole squad has surrounded him when he turns his head.
Oh. More of you than I can count, which is high number like 7 or 8.
But there's a bright side to all this, as Spider-Hulk reminds himself of the same afternoon he got home after the pudgy nerd at the museum wailed on him. Meanwhile, Spider-Hulk does what he does best, and that's face the danger ahead of him head on.
Am genius, you know? Just not good at applying it.
That bad?
At least never know when to quit.
In the midst of everything, Spider-Hulk unleashes a barrage of truth bombs on us.
It's not that people can be so mean that bothers me. It's that I let them.
This science. Awesome science.
Spider-Hulk expertly thwips the AI Marines one by one, subduing any enemy he catches with his webs. Remembering his late Uncle Ben's advice that fateful afternoon further ignites his resolve.
You can't always be the strongest, but you have to be the strongest where it counts. And you've got plenty there, kid. Don't let it get to you. In the end, it'll be bigger kids who'll be trying to match up to you.
Not far away, Thor almost has an aneurysm trying to regain his wielding rights to Mjolnir.
Thor's hammer, Thor's. Do not deny Thor, stupid hammer. Thor is god of thunder. Thor is son of Odin. Thor is.
Just like that, another memory from his youth bubbles up to the surface. Back when he had to face the consequences of what he did to his brother Loki.
I'm ashamed, Thor. He is your brother.
But Loki didn't.
Silence, boy. You miss my point. If you let a quarrel with a brother debase you so, how will you act in a quarrel with a real enemy? You would be a brute, an unworthy brute.
More importantly, Thor remembers the lesson that the All-Father gave him.
Consider this. Would you be strong or wise, Thor?
I don't know.
It is better to be wise, and to be wise you choose to be both. And were you truly wise, truly strong, truly a prince of Asgard, you would not have acted so.
In the present, Thor finally realizes the error of his ways. He grabs his hammer from the floor, vowing to never forget Odin's words ever again.
Thor forgot Thor. Will remember.
In the other room, the hulked-out soldiers gang up on Spider-Hulk, as the web-slinging hero desperately fends them off. Everyone stops in their tracks, however, when they hear the God of Thunder's voice.
Leave little spider thing alone, and leave here.
We discover that Thor has successfully reclaimed his birthright as he holds Mjolnir firmly in his hand.
No place for bullies.
The God of Thunder picks up the slack, diverting the Gamma-powered soldier's attention away from Spider-Hulk and toward himself. On the other hand, Peter preempts that this tussle would undoubtedly wreck his favorite fossils. So he does something typically smart and protects each and every one with webbing.
Okay, Thor, but we'll make everything stay down. Think we'll need it.
Thor clashes with multiple hulked-out military men, proving that he's the mightiest Avenger. Their bout culminates in an ear-splitting explosion that blows off a hefty chunk of the Smithsonian Institute. On the other hand, most of the skeletal displays inside the revered museum remain relatively unscathed. And not being one to let his pride take him over, Spider-Hulk genuinely praises his old friend's martial abilities.
You are the strongest one there is.
With their friendship rekindled, Spider-Hulk lets Thor know how ill-advised it would be if they decided to stay within the Smithsonian's confines.
Saved what I could. We stay here, all get smashed. Then must go.
Proving that he is indeed worthy of Mjolnir again, the hulked-out God of Thunder pulls the web-slinger close to him and apologizes for their recent scuffle.
And, Spider Thing, we must be friends and brothers, and never again let Diplodocus make us fight. Yes, not have face smashed with hammer, would like that.
Not a moment passes when they discover more AI Marines laying waste to the city. Thor turns to his friend and asks him what their next move should be. Spider-Hulk proposes something that they both could agree on.
What now? Smash? Yes, smash. Smash!
That's all for now, guys. We hope you liked watching this video and look forward to reading your thoughts about it in the comments section below. So, sound off. And please don't forget to help the channel by giving us a like, share, subscribe to our channel, and turn on all your notifications to be the first to see what we're cooking. If you liked this video, then you're going to love the next one, so feel free to check it out as well. We'll see you soon. Take care.